Now in the pan, put a little olive oil. Pour in your tempeh. And I put it on high and heat it up for about 4 or 5 minutes. And right at the end, we'll throw some Worcestershire sauce in there, okay? Be right back. So I get this stuff pretty hot. It'll brown a little bit. Not too much. You don't want to really toast it really bad. Let it go just a little bit more.
Okay, now we're ready for the sauce, for the Sloppy Joe's. So you get your pan, put your oil in your pan, not much. Swish it around a little bit. Throw your onions in first, because your garlic will burn. There you go.
Notice the pan was hot ahead of time. It's really important with stainless. And we like to cook with stainless because it just seems to do a better job than Teflon and other types of pan. But the critical thing is to preheat the pan or your food will stick.
So when your onions are almost all the way cooked, you want to dump in your garlic, and that's all up to you how much garlic you want to use. We use a lot of garlic. We have about 3 tablespoons in here of chopped garlic, but however much you want, it's strictly up to you. Add a little bit more oil so the garlic can cook without burning. Then you just want the garlic to where it's cooked, not brown or anything, just kind of getting the flavor and the odors going. Same thing with the onions, you don't want to cook too much. If you cook onions hot and fast, they'll sweeten up really quick. You don't have to cook them for 20 minutes.
Too bad this isn't smell-o-vision, or you'd really smell some good stuff.
What I do is I roast my tomatoes and freeze them. So I just defrosted some tomatoes out of the freezer. You put them in your food processor. Same one as you use the tempeh in. You don't have to clean it. Then zip it up real good.
And we never use canned anything, so they're fresh tomatoes, and like Terry said, she roasts them and freezes them.
There we go, all zipped up.
Roasted tomatoes really bring out the sugars and flavor.
So now that the onions and garlic are cooked up, we'll take this and pour it on in. And if you're lucky enough to have homegrown tomatoes, it's even better. So you mix it all up real good. Get all the bits off the bottom, get all that flavor in there. And you just cook this a little bit to kind of get the flavors to meld a little bit. And you'll see the tomato sauce change color. It'll get a dark color. It won't be this lighter color. Okay. I add a tablespoon of tomato paste. Of course, mine is frozen again. And then about a half a cup of tomato sauce to the mixture. And you can add all this in frozen, it doesn't matter. Once the sauce is hot, it will melt it all pretty quickly.
Kind of an approximation at this point, but Terry's been doing it long enough that she's pretty good guesser.
Yeah. There we go, put that in there.
Oh, I guess that was a half a cup frozen,
That was half a cup of frozen
bag.
sauce.
Yeah.
And then the tablespoon of paste. And now you just kind of mix it up until everything melts Now that everything's melted and it's all melded in there, you want to take your herbs. I have about 3 tablespoons of parsley. Once it's crushed up, it'll be about 3 tablespoons. Just take it and crush it up.
Of course, ours is fresh from the garden and dehydrated.
Same thing with the oregano. This is about a tablespoon, about 2 tablespoons of oregano. Crush it up. It smells so good. And then we got basil. Got a couple tablespoons, maybe 3 tablespoons of basil. Crush that up. Oh, the aroma is unbelievable. Get all that in there nice and melded. Then we're going to put in our tempeh. Tempeh goes in, mix it up really good. And you want it really saucy and soupy because it's a Sloppy Joe. So
if it's not slopping everywhere, it's not a Sloppy
it's not a Sloppy Joe. So you definitely want more sauce than you have the tempeh. Mix it up really good. Get all the stuff off the sides.
And there's natural estrogen in tempeh, and anybody that is going through menopause and suffers from hot flashes and that type of stuff, tempeh will revolutionize your life and change the trauma that you're going through.
And your Sloppy Joes are done. Now you have to heat up your bread. We'll get to that point in a second.
So the way we like to prepare our rolls, and because the bread is fresh, you got to really be careful because it's so soft. And I'll show you what I mean in a second. But this makes it more like a boat, and it makes it easier for Sloppy Joes, so they're not as sloppy, or at least you can control it. Okay. Rip the top out. Terry likes to keep the top on. She feels it helps her to hold her Sloppy Joe. I want it out of the way so that there's more room for the stuff. Okay, so these are ready to put into the oven. So we like to use a toaster oven. So we toast them on both sides, and it really adds to an awesome sandwich. So what me and Isaiah like to do is put some bullseye in there on the bottom. It really adds to the dimension of the sandwich. And then we'll load them up with the fixins. Okay. The thing I like about a little toaster oven is it just gets them perfect. See a little bit of toastiness, not too much. So here's what the final Sloppy Joe looks like, and as you can see, I like it overflowing and sloppy. So thanks for being with us. I have somebody that wants to say goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Jeremy and Brandy.
Jeremy and Brandy.
See you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.